Okay, guys, we are back again. Sitting here with Dean Mitchell. Dean's also got a very interesting story, coming from a little bit of a dark place into a light place now. Um, Dean, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having
So,
me, Coach.
give us your story. Tell us what your story is.
Um,
Come
so
from the beginning, where the problems started.
okay, so as a youngster, I was involved in a lot of sports things and stuff like that. My father, I grew up with my dad. My dad raised me.
Yeah.
My mom wasn't in the picture, so after school and stuff, I'd hang out with my dad and stuff at the bars and stuff. So it really put me in that environment of drinking and partying and such on. So yeah, at a very young age, around 14, I just hit high school. I already started drinking and stuff. Started how could I say,
I think a lot of us were like that. It's just
yeah, but I think I started a bit bad. I started
yeah,
a bit bad. It wasn't getting having a few drinks with friends. It was getting hammered, drunk, passing out at a young age, waking up in the toilet at the age of like 15, and there was no, how can I say, observation at home, so you could do what you want. So yeah, at a young age, drinking was a bigger thing, and I was into sports from a young age. My dad was I come from a boxing family. My whole family are boxers. And my dad was actually a sparring partner for Brian Mitchell. So as time moved on, um, I started, how can I say, forgetting about my boxing and just carrying on drinking, drinking, drinking. And then it moved on to even worse things, drugs, went into an even darker place like that.
yeah.
Alberton at that time was going through a very big change. Like there was a lot of influence from the south and places like that, yeah. So gangsterism came around. There was a lot of groups going around, getting drunk.
Did you fall in with one of the
Oh
crews?
yeah, definitely. At a young age, I was doing housebreakings, car thefts, hijackings,
Shit.
very 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 things that I'm not really proud of.
Yeah.
At the age of 19, I ended up in jail.
Oh.
I spent 2 years at Zonnewater prison in Pretoria. Got out of jail, and yeah, jail made it even worse. There you meet up with the real, the real, how can I say, bad people.
Yeah.
So yeah, came out. Um, Long story short, it just came to a stage where it looked like there wasn't a light at the end of the tunnel. You know?
It's a hard place to be.
Yeah, I just thought to myself, live by the gun, die by the gun. That's how we'll do it. And when I was about 24, I ended up getting stabbed in my back a couple of times, and ended up in surgery, losing like a half of my lungs.
Wow.
And doctors told me, look, if you're doing any sports and stuff, you can forget about it now. You'll never be able to have the fitness levels and things you did. So during this whole time, I had got married, had a child already.
Oh, I didn't even know that you were married or had a kid.
Yeah, got married at 23. So a very, very rough young woman. So in and out of jail.
That you met in the circles.
In the circles, she was a wildcat. I was a runner. Things just worked well between us. We ended up having a kid. Yeah, our kid got taken away by the grandparents at a young age, and that's when the how can I say, the cry for change started to come for me.
Yeah.
Because then I was like, now you're doing exactly like your dad and did. You're like not giving a shit about your child. You're just carrying on with your own life. So from there, first we got my wife out. We got into a rehab and stuff like that. Can't remember the rehab's name. It was many years ago. I think it was 2020, around there. I can't remember.
No, it must have been earlier than that. That's only 4 years ago.
Yeah, so I can't remember when it was exactly, but when she went to rehab, then I was on my own, and that's when I ran into Yvette and then from Addict's Voice. So I'm reckoning it's about 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think of it. They tried to convince me to get into the program with them for years and years and years. I refused. I always said, no, the day I want to quit, I'll do it on my own. And yeah, one day, it was 2000, yeah, I think 2020 is when I quit. 2020 is when I quit.
Quit.
Everything, yeah, everything.
So you've been clean now for 4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years.
That's great, man. That's good.
And it was actually a request from my grandmother. My grandmother worked at the Alberton pharmacy my whole life. and she was retiring, and she said to me, I'm never going to rest. And I said to her, what do you mean? She said, I'm always going to worry about you. I'm never going to get an actual break. And I'm always going to worry what you're doing. Are you eating? Are you doing the right
As
thing?
grandparents do.
You know? And that night, we had a situation between the guys, another near-death experience. And the next morning, I just woke up and I said to myself, I need to change. I need to change. This is getting me nowhere.
You think that was God's grace?
Yeah,
The
definitely.
voice coming out of the
In that
out of the
time,
light.
although I grew up in an alcoholic house and things like that, it was very Christian based.
Yes.
I was baptized as a child. My grandparents took me to church every Sunday and stuff, so I knew the Lord. It just drifted away. And when I got home, I'd say calling it home, when I quit drugs and I went back to my dad, it was like a spiritual awakening where he just came to me and he said to me, I've got a plan for you. I've got something I need you to do for me. And
That's amazing.
but you can't do it in the state that you are now. That time I was weighing like 46 kilograms, high on drugs, just a mess.
Yeah.
My dad said, okay, come on, come fix yourself. Just, got home, and I don't know, it was the first week I was laying in my bed and I was like, I can't do this. I need to get out of here. I need to, and I actually picked up my phone and went on social media, and I came across a post from Addict's Voice again.
Yeah.
And it was Yvette and Cornet, and they were doing something, I think it was the street shower or something like that. And that's when I said to myself, I think this is my calling. I want to work with people. I want to help them change, get off the path that I was, things like that. So I haven't got into it so much yet, but I hooked up with Addict's Voice. They become one of my first sponsors. They sponsored me kits and stuff, and they said to me, Dean, the only way for you to change your mind is to get your body healthy. And box office in the south opened the doors for me.
With Anton.
Anton
He actually told me that you were
there. He opened his doors for me, and from there everything just started changing. As my body got fitter again and my mind got clearer, I started to become myself again. Also, I won't say myself again. I started to learn a side of me that I never knew, because I always just knew drunk Dean or high Dean.
Yes.
And I actually reckon I'm not actually a bad person. The things that I used to do was because of the situation I was in. So through Addict's Voice and box office, I stayed clean for the first year, not a single problem. The second year, I found a job. I worked there for about 5 or 6 months, and the owner was very old, and he said, he's on his way out. I want to carry on doing the business for him. And we used to do furniture and things like that for customers. So I took over where he left off. I ran well for about almost two and a half years. And money wasn't coming in the way it should. Started, how can I say, getting tight again. And the first thing a person's mind is, you think of escape, start thinking of going back to the roots of how you used to make money.
Yeah.
And I phoned Corne and Yvette one day and they said, you know what, Dean, stop paying rent, move in at Daddy's Voice house, and start helping out around the house, showing the people about addiction.
Is it like a shelter, like a how do I say, recovery place?
Yeah, it's a recovery program home. It's not a rehab. They have a house in the heart of Alberton where they take people from the streets. They have interviews with, they know the people for years.
Yeah.
And they give them options. Stay clean for a certain amount of time and we'll allow you into the house.
That's good.
And luckily I was clean, so I was let into the house immediately. I observed the program, watched and saw how they did the whole program. Got a job immediately because that was my main goal. And in the whole time that I was there, I realized that this is definitely my calling. This is definitely my calling. So I went with them to church for the first time. I saw what they do, how they treat the people, what they do for the people, and things like that. And at first, it's a bit shy. You're a little bit uncomfortable praying for people, asking them their stories and stuff like that. And since then, it's just been a life-changing experience working with people, learning that no matter what, circumstance you come from. There is people that's gone through worse, a lot worse. So yeah, there's always light if you look for it.
Of course, yes. Especially when you start understanding that God has a plan for you. God's got a plan for everyone's life.
Yes, definitely.
And that sometimes there's that saying. I actually learned it with one of the roles that we like with one of the gatherings we had here for men, which was just a grappling, and it was all a religious thing where men could get together and speak. And one of the guys said over there, the road to heaven looks like hell, and the road to hell looks like heaven.
It's true.
You know,
It's true. It's a very good observation.
you got to go through a lot of things to get to heaven, and it's hard. It's hard. But God's got a plan for you, and He wants you in heaven. He wants all of us to be there.
Yeah, like he says in the Bible, he'll leave 1,000,000 souls to chase after one.
Yes.
If that soul's worth it.
It comes down to that parable of the shepherd with the one sheep that's run away. He'll still go and get that one sheep and bring it back to the flock.
Exactly.
And it's great that you've. So, listening to your story, you changed your circle of people, which helped straight away. Going back to God, going back to religion, self accountability. Saying to yourself, "Listen, I'm not happy where I am.
Yeah.
I need to change." And having a strong family member say something deep like that to you, it's family. Family is very important. I always say to everyone, it's God, family, everything else.
So your family support is detrimental in a life change.
Yeah.
If you don't have family support, that's why I say that you must always remember there's people that have much worse situations. There are people that have no family. They have no one to help them change. They have no one to lean on. And if I didn't have my dad and my grand and my brother and the gyms, firstly I want to say thanks, Coach, for allowing me here, having me at the gym when I needed to be here.
Welcome.
You'd never change. You just end up waking up in the morning in that circle because you end up living life in a circle. It's an actual circle. You wake up, you get what you need, you go around making sure you have enough for the day. At night, you hang out with the crowd, see what's the plans for the night. First starts off as a party and it just ends up in chaos. And you'll see the next morning you do it again and again. You wake up in front of the toilet and like, I'm never going to do this again. And 10 minutes later, you crack in the first drink.
That's it. And then you're back into the loop again.
You're back into the loop again. So yeah, it's support systems was I would say one of the big things. But if someone doesn't want to change,
yes, it's hard to reach those.
It's hard to reach them. And I was a very good boxer. I went to SAs when I was young. I did the Chabilani Championships. I did the SAKKs. I boxed in Zimbabwe. I boxed all over. I had a very bright amateur career as a boxer. And after all my stuff, I came back to boxing thinking, I'm just going to climb on that bicycle. And you can't. You lose that life, that drugs and all that stuff. You lose, even a talented person can lose their talent to that stuff.
God giveth and God taketh.
Yes, that's maybe a good way to put it. That's definitely.
And He'll probably give it back to you
if
you're ready. They talk about where doors won't always open for you until you're ready to go through them.
Yes, true.
So your skill level or how you work will come back to you when you're ready to receive it.
But also now you have accountability, so you'll know if you're not training the way you should, if you're not putting it in the way you should, you can't expect the results
because you're not ready to get it back yet.
Exactly.
So yeah, it comes down to that. And look, I'm glad that you're back in boxing. You're doing the white collars now. You're putting some time in, so it's good. It's glad. Makes me happy to see people taking those steps to self betterment. And through your self betterment, you can start helping others.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. Johnny Cooney is opening up a big gym next year, a youth gym. It will be sponsored by the government and stuff. He's going to take kids from the rehabs and stuff like that. People, talented stars that end up in rehabs and stuff. He's going to try and lock them straight into the gym from them. Keep the body healthy. If the body's healthy, the mind's healthy.
That's brilliant. It reminds me a bit of Anton's what Anton's got going as well. He's got brilliant projects.
You got the idea from Anton.
Yeah, he's got brilliant projects running. I love that he's out in Hillbrow as well, and he's doing work like he's proper grassroots.
This year we marked a decade of Fighters Inside. Fighters inside in Hillbrow has been there 25 years this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, I take my hat off to that man. He's doing incredible work.
So the
You know,
guy,
well, I spoke in the podcast before this one, where he also said that, it didn't come without strife and it didn't come without a lot of problems for the business and the gym as a whole, but for him personally as well. So, it's not something easy.
yes, yes,
But
yeah.
the guys who stick through it's something that eventually the fruits of what we were speaking about earlier today, our main thing, the fruits of the Holy Spirit will eventually.
It's true, and Anton's also very, how can I say, religious with his gymming when it comes to that.
Yeah.
His fighters, they come in there, he has a very strict routine on them. And I can see a lot of talent coming out of box
Oh,
office
yes.
this year.
Yeah, no, 100%. This coming year, we were speaking about it. He's got so many plans. He's got pros coming out. It's looking brilliant. Tell me about the shirt. Sorry, I
Yeah.
wanted to bring that up. What is?
Yeah, this is Addict's Voices logo.
Yeah,
You'll see them a lot around Alberton. You'll see them a lot around Henry Potgieter.
Addict's voice.
Addict's Voice, yeah. It's a NPC. It's founded by Victoria and a few other people, but I work mostly through Vet.
Yeah.
I can't remember precisely when it was founded, but it's been around Alberton for many years, maybe 10 years minimum. And we have a family.
Yeah.
That's what we actually are. We're not just a rehab program or something
Or a
like that.
recovery program.
It's not actually a rehab program. How would I say? It's like a life coaching course.
Yeah.
You go there and they teach you, and they know that every addict has a root. There's a root cause that causes an addict.
Almost
Something,
like a trigger.
a trigger, something. So you do the program. They get inside. They find where the problem is, and that's all spiritual and religious based. So, if you're not willing to get close to God, don't even try go to the program because there it's God first, and then it works. That's the first thing I have to say. I never did a program in my life. A lot of my friends did, my wife did and stuff, and I never saw any results from the program.
Yeah.
I only saw either people that wanted to change or didn't. But this is the first program that I actually could see with my own eyes that this does something different. It does something different. It makes you self-aware of what you need to be and what you want to be and what God wants for you. You know, they, they say if football fans, if Christians could gather like football fans, we'd have the biggest churches in the world.
Oh, yes, of course.
You know,
Yes, of course.
sports is like religious to some people, and that's why there's a, how can they say, something in common between the two.
Yeah.
So, at his voice, they feed the people in Alberton. They go around. They have at the police station. They feed.
Oh, is it them who are doing the feeding of it?
Yes, they
Oh,
do.
okay.
There's a few people that do it. Lots also do it. There's a few people that actually do it.
Yeah, so what Dean's talking about up there is just up the road from literally one block up from where we are. There's the Alberton police station, and right across the road, all of the homeless go and sleep there every night, and there's a lot of them. So what Dean's saying is the addict's voice. They go out there and they go and feed the homeless people there. I think you guys also do prayer with them.
Yes, we do prayer with them. We spread the word. And we also lift that every Thursday mornings. We feed them so in the mornings, give them some clothes and stuff like that. And that's how they slowly reach out and choose people to take
Yeah.
into the program.
Well, we're busy doing a clothing collection here at the gym. We're also doing a dog food and cat food drive as well, collecting for the Alberton SPCA. So what we'll do is with the clothes that we've got here that we're gathering from our gym members, we'll then hand over to you to go and hand over to Addict Voice, and then they can go and distribute to the homeless people here.
I truly appreciate that,
Yeah,
Coach.
I
Thank you
think
very
that'll be
much.
cool.
That'll be cool.
I'm not sure what time we got left. I'm trying to see 90 minutes. Yeah, we clocked it pretty well.
Oh, we did well.
Anything else you want to add on your side?
No, just
Message
a
to people out
big
there.
thank you to the coaches, to all the coaches out there, Coach Carl, Coach Tiny, Coach Anton Gilmore, Donnie Pitter, all of them. They inspire a lot of people. You know, a lot of people, when you're in a very dark place, you remember very little, but words from your coach always shines through.
You know,
So
it's
just a
nice that
very
you
big
touch on that,
thanks.
guys. From our coach's point of view, we always want guys to come and speak to us, to come and open to us. We never want anybody to be left out. We never want anybody to be walking a dark, hurtful path alone. You know, come and speak to us. When they message us, phone us, get a hold of us in one way or another. Come and sit at the gym. Come and sit at our desk. we'll always listen, and where we can help, we'll help. If you need to find work, we'll put your CV all over our groups and everything. We'll do what we can. But one thing I found with men, and being in the environment that I'm in now with the religious groups and all of that, is that we find that men just aren't speaking. Speak, open up your mouths, get out there and just say what's on your heart. Say what your problems are. Otherwise, you're not going to get help. Men are we creatures of hiding almost. We hide our feelings. We don't open up emotionally. If you're going through something, speak to us. Speak to somebody. Find somebody. Get an accountable partner. And when you've got a problem, speak to them because they're more than likely going to have an answer for you. We touched base on it a little bit with Anton as well, and it's an important subject, guys. Get into your gyms. There's a lot of guys there, and go and train with these guys. They're all like-minded people. Go and have a sparring session. You don't have to go and fight in the cage or in the ring. Just go to the gym, get a workout, speak to the guys, hang out with men. Men need men. We are pack animals. We are not solo animals. But Dean, thank you very much. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
you.
having me,
Thanks
Coach.
for telling us your story,
Sure.
and all the best for you in the future, my man.
Yeah. We'll
Thank you, guys.
definitely see each other a lot.
Definitely.
Chat, guys.